Hello and welcome to my Minecraft tutorials, modding tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how to make custom block models. And this is really simple. And we're going to start it off. So first of all, you have to have a model. So I use Techni. There's also Blender. There's another program that's way better. That's much harder to use. I don't really know about it, so we're going to use Techni. So yeah, you make a model, you create your blocks, you set the positions, you set the dimensions, you set the offsets, you set the texture offsets, you set the rotations, and you have to name them each differently. So it doesn't matter what they are, as long as you kind of can reference them. And yeah, so you save your project and you want to export it as Java. So I'm going to do tutorial, and I'm going to save it to my desktop, and that's it. And then next you want to get a texture. So you want to save it as a texture map. So I'm going to save it to my desktop there. Then you can leave here and you got your stuff here. You got your PNG and your code. So I'm going to open this up in Paint, and I have already made a texture for it, so I'm going to cut to that. Here it is. It's very basic, but it does the job. So you're going to want to know where you have these two files. Now we're going to go into Eclipse, and we're going to go into our main modding class. Hopefully you have one of these already. If you don't, watch a tutorial on how to get started. You're also going to need proxies, which are very simple, and you should have a language file. And also packages, and you can create new packages for your new files. Alright, so we're going to start off here by creating a new block. I got a lot of stuff here, so sorry about the delay. Public static block tutorial. Now we're going to initialize the block down here. Oh god, where is it? All the way down here. Okay, so I'm going to do tutorial equals new tutorial, or your block class name. Then we're going to do material dot whatever material you want, so I'll do rock. We're going to do dot set block name in parentheses in quotes tutorial. We're going to do dot set texture name in parentheses in quotes your modding ID osmosis colon your texture name. So it'll automatically go to your blocks textures blocks folder and get this. So I will do a previous one just for the showcase, or just for the tutorial, and then we're done with that for now. We get an error here because we haven't created the class yet. Now we have to go down and register the block. So we're going to game registry dot register block tutorial in quotes tutorial. Ugh. Now we're done with this file. So now we're going to create the block itself. Still getting that error, of course, but we will change that. We're going to go into blocks. If you don't have the package, create it. Whatever dot blocks. It can be anything really, but modders tend to make it after their website. So okay, so we're going to create a new block. Tutorial. In this block, we're going to extend block container. going to import that. I'll use Control-Shift-O because it's easy. I'm going to add a constructor. Get rid of the green. Add unimplemented methods. I'm going to rename this to material. I'm going to rename this to material. And here's something. It's for some reason it makes it protected, so we're going to do public. Change that to public. So now this error should go away, and it hasn't yet because of the texture name. But let's see. I spelled that wrong. My bad. So no errors. And in here, we're going to do this dot set creative tab. And if you don't have a custom creative tab, you're going to do creative tabs. Tabs dot whatever. But I have a creative tab, so I'm going to do main, my main class file dot the tab. Semicolon, and then I'm going to do the hardness, this dot set hardness. We'll do 5.0 F. I'm going to also do this dot set resistance and 0.5 F. And then we're going to go down and create a new method. Public int get render type. We're going to do return -1, since that's not used by anything else. And then we're going to do public boolean is opaque cube. We're going to set that to false. Oops. Return false, sorry. Then we're going to do one more, public another boolean, render as normal block. We're going to also set that to false. Return false. So now right here, hate the green code, we're going to create a new tile entity. So we're going to return new tile entity tutorial. And of course it doesn't have anything. So we're going to create it. If you don't have a package, create it. New class tile entity tutorial. All you have to do in this class is extends tile entity. Oops. I can't spell entity for the life of me. I know how to spell it, but I always mess it up. Okay, now import, and that's it. Unless you want to add stuff to it later, but we're going to leave that for now because we don't need that. Right here, we're going to import the tile entity, and then we're done with our block. Now, we're going to create the model. So we're going to go up to and create a package for models if you don't have one. New class model tutorial. And this is where you take your exported Java code from Techni, which is right here. Export as Java. Take that, copy and paste right into here. So you're going to get a ton of errors, which are really easy to fix. You're going to change your package name. Get rid of that. Change the model name if it's wrong. Control-Shift-O to import everything. Make sure you choose the top one. Now down here you have one error. You can easily fix this by typing entity, add right here, comma, entity. Wow. Then up here, one more, entity. Now that's all good. Now one more thing we have to do in here is create a new method called public void render model. I'm going to do a float, F5, it makes it easier. Now under set rotation angles, we're going to copy all this here and paste it all down here. And if you name the float something else, you're going to have to rename all those floats, so it's easier to just name it F5. Now we're done with our model class. One more class, and then we're going to add the proxy, and we'll be done. This class is a renderer class, so we're going to create a new, whoops, we're going to create, a new renderer. I'm going to call it render tutorial. And in here we're going to extend tile entity, extends tile entity special renderer. Okay. We're going to spell that right. Then we're going to import this, and we're going to add unimplemented methods and get rid of that. That's stupid. I'll fix this because, yeah, why not? And we're going to add some space here. We're going to do the resource location. So we're going to do resource location. We're going to name the place, the name of the resource location that we'll call later, and that's going to equal a new resource location. Source location. And you're going to do your main modding class. So I'm going to do main osmosis dot mod ID. And then right here you're going to do space plus space in quotes, a colon, space plus in quotes where your texture will be. So it'll always be in textures. It won't always be, but it should always be in textures. Then you can create a folder. I'll show you in a second. Models, and then I'll call this tutorial.png. Make sure this is all right. Now import resource location, and make sure you put a semicolon after that. So here in source, main, resources, assets, your mod ID, textures, then you're going to create a models folder, which I have already, and in here you're going to put your model. So I have tutorial right here that I'm going to throw in here, and that's good. Get rid of this because I don't need that anymore. Now back in here, we're going to continue on. So we're going to create a quick little thing that will help us. Private model, model tutorial model. That'll just help us out there. I'm going to import this. Then we're going to do public render model, render tutorial. In here we're going to do this dot model dot equals new model tutorial, whatever you named your model, of course, and then open close parentheses semicolon. Now we're going to finish this off by doing gl11 dot gl push matrix. Then we're going to do, I did not do a capital L. Make sure you do capitals where they're needed, and make sure you import it also. Then we're going to do gl11 GL rotate. Rotate F. Actually, we're going to do translate first. So we're going to do GL11 dot GL translate F, and we're going to do let's see, what are we're going to do X plus 0.5, so 0.5. We're going to do Y plus 1.5, and we're going to do Z plus 0.5. And sorry, we're going to add F floats after that. And actually, let's just change this. We're going to change this to entity variable 2 to X, variable 4 to Y, variable 6 to Z, and F for here. Then right here we're going to do cast these as floats. So float, float, and float. Oops. Now that's good. Now we're going to do the, we're going to finish the rotate. So we're going to do 180 degrees. We're going to do 0F, 0F, and 1F. Could have just finished that before, but I'm going to do, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to bind the texture, so we're going to do this dot bind texture, and then whatever you named your texture up there, I named it texture. Then we're going to do GL11 dot GL push matrix, and then we're going to do this dot model dot render model, and we're going to do 0.0625F. That number has to be that. Then we're going to close the matrix, so GL11 dot GL pop matrix, and we're going to do that again for this other one. So, and that is it for this class. So we're going to save that, we're going to close out of it, and finally we're going to go into our proxy. Now proxies, you're going to need to have them if you're modding, so definitely find a tutorial on that. I cannot find mine right now. Right here. Client proxy. Now down here we're going to create a new one. You can create as many as you want. Tile entity special renderer. And we're going to name a new one, render 10. You can name them anything, but equals new render tutorial. Then we're going to do client registry dot bind tile entity special renderer. I'm going to do tile entity tutorial dot class, and right here we're going to do, I could have just tabbed that, but we're going to do render 10, and that's good. Now we're going to save this. Finally, we're going to go into our lang file and just add a quick name for this. So you should definitely figure out, I did already, tile.tutorial.name equals block. Very creative. Yep. Now I'm going to open this up. Nah, I hate this. I'm going to load up the world again. Okay, so a little bit slow. Going to go to your tab. You're going to find that block. And there we go. Got yourself a custom block. Pretty cool. Now, if you like this, comment, rate, subscribe. If you need help, let me know in the comments, and